So since you've had so many years of experience in business, job and everything, what advice will you give to young minds like me who's sitting there and all the people in some sort of business or starting up with a business?
Trust yourself only. Business mein, you will get to meet so many people and you will easily get influenced by people. किसी भी पत्थर को लोग सिंदूर लगा के उसको भगवान बोलने लगते हैं. हम सब तो इंसान हैं.
So in the two failures that you faced, what was the biggest learning that you took into your current business?
The one biggest learning that I have taken is we all are aware first breakup जो होता है आदमी का it takes a lot from you.
Yeah.
And second time तुम ये devastating condition में जाते हो when your business fails. Like अगर तुमको कोई चीज खरीदनी है, for example tomorrow you have to go and buy Rolex, you don't have to think twice that after spending so much amount of money will I be able to survive for next 10 years. If you are asking yourself that question, then you are not supposed to buy a Rolex. There are two things. Okay. First, you have to trust the timing of the universe. No matter how hard you want it, unless and until your time comes, you will not gonna get it. तुम उम्रा जाओ, तुम हज जाओ, अजमेर का दरगाह ये हो या मैं वैष्णो माँ चला गया या मैं अमरनाथ चला गया. God is not going to fulfill my dream just because I wanted at that point of time. Twice यार, 2 बार फेल्यूर हो चुका था. पैसे का जाने दो, पैसे डूब गए. That is very unfortunate part. But more than that, आदमी जो morally break होता है ना, that is something very difficult.
So hello everyone. Today we have with us someone who's very close, someone who's very inspiring for me, Mr. Sanket Joshi. And for a little context, I'll tell you all, he was the managing director of my previous company, and I have learned a lot from that man sitting right there. So yeah, welcome sir, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Let's start from the beginning. What is transcription? Because I've seen a lot of people, they don't have any idea about what it is.
Absolutely.
How you came to know about it, how you pursued it as a career and how it went.
Absolutely. So let's start. Before diving onto the question, what is transcription? I want to let people know that transcription is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's not that few people are sitting here and there and they are just doing their work. It is forecasted to grow around 31.9 billion for the year 2026-2027. So now when we talk about such a huge industry, then comes the basic question, what is transcription? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have spent around 16 years in transcription and मैं काफी अच्छे से समझा सकता हूँ as to what transcription is. In a layman's language, transcription is nothing but converting speech from text. Now you'll ask me the question, what is so important or why it is so important? Okay. I'll just give you one small example. We both are having a conversation now. After 2 months, you want to refer to some specific information that was spoken in this podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what are the ways you will be having to access that specific information? You will be having to go through complete video. You will have to take it forward, you will have to take it back, you will have to come to a specific point and then you will understand that this is the information that I want.
Yeah.
Okay. Now imagine if one information is causing you so much hassle, then a company who is dealing with billions or millions of data, for them to find this specific information through a medium of video or an audio is very difficult. So, in order to tackle this issue, transcription came into picture.
Okay.
Now, what is transcription? We both are speaking. Every single word that's been spoken over here will get transcribed. That means will get typed. Okay?
Yeah.
There will not be any changes. There will not be any grammatical corrections and so on and so forth. Our entire conversation will be spoken verbatim and you will find it in a form of a PDF. So now you want to find any information, what you have to do, instead of toggling through video, you just have to press Ctrl F and whatever information is needed, you have that information handy. So this is how transcription industry came into existence. And as far as my awareness is concerned, the industry is there since 18th century. not in the form that we perceive in, but yeah, it's been a while since we are part of this industry.
How did you come across it? Because I know the story, but then it'll be very interesting for the people to know it. How, because it was,
Absolutely,
when you told,
absolutely.
yeah.
You all are aware of one song from movie MS Dhoni, Besabriya.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of it, it says, "ले जाए जही, ले जाए वहाँ, जहाँ होती है बेसब्रिया." Okay. So I completed my education. Now, जब मैं वापस औरंगाबाद में आया तो क्वेश्चन वाज जॉब. Obviously यार एजुकेशन खत्म हो गया. पेरेंट्स वांट यू टू डू जॉब not for the sake of money but for the sake of earning. So my hunting for job started. I completed BBA and my animation course from Pune. I came to Aurangabad. I went to one animation institute. Interview went well, everything went well. The man offered me 3,500 rupees as a salary. So my only concern at that point of time was, sir, I have spent around half lakh rupees for a course. I have completed 2.5 years of it. I have given everything, and at the return, if you are, giving me 3,500 rupees for a faculty, I don't think it is fair. Man said what he had to say. He said, fine, no problem. We'll find something else. Okay. So next now, in my head, I wanted to do job. Obviously, time was running. I was getting more and more impatient. And जब हम लोग impatient होते हैं ना, तो दो possibilities होती है. Okay. First possibility is it will take you into completely different and problematic direction, like we have seen with most people. And दूसरी possibility ऐसी होती है that it will take you, that eventually when you will become successful and when you will try to look back and connect the dots, it will all make sense to you कि why it all happened. Okay. So that is how it happened with me. After this denial for the post of faculty, one of my friend told me औरंगाबाद में international call center है. I was very interested. I was very amazed कि चलो यार city is growing. Why not? So I thought, let me give it a try. Let me go. Let me give interview, and we'll see how it goes. I went there. So the moment I introduced myself, they gave me a paper and they told me to write essay on Barack Obama. Okay. Luckily, I had enough information about him, so I wrote complete essay. I handed over to him. Maybe after 10 minutes, they came back. They told me, your essay is fine. We are calling you for next round. So I am still under the influence that I am going inside for the post of, it's a BPO basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Call center, yeah.
I am going for call center and I will have to speak something. Now, the moment I entered, they started asking me about share market. Do you have any idea about share market? I said, yeah, just a little bit about superficial, nothing more. They're like, fine, no problem. What we'll do, we'll give you 2 minutes of audio. You type it out. Whatever you hear, you type it out. I found it to be very weird. Like, what is it? I mean, who is going to be in need of that? But I said, fine, let's keep all the questions aside. They gave me a task that 2 minutes of audio, whatever you can hear to the best of abilities, type it out. I have done exactly the same thing. And that was about it. I came out, I went home. I was thinking about it for a while कि अरे बाबा क्या हो गया, अभी टेस्ट तो दे दिया है कि नहीं. प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है ना कि तुम्हारा दिमाग तुमको बैठने नहीं देता है आराम से. नो मैटर you have a set way or you don't have any way, your mind will keep on pushing you. So ऐसे मेरे साथ हो रहा था. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, लोगों के साथ सालों हो जाते हैं, but thankfully I did not have to go through that much amount of suffering. After 10th day, I got a call from a company. They told me that you are selected, come for the final round. I said, fine, not a problem. I went there for the final round. Managing director थे, उनके साथ मेरा for the first time interview हुआ. They offered me 7,000 rupees. Now it was double the amount I was initially
before, yeah.
offered before.
Yeah.
So again, I was in the same dilemma. I did not say yes or no to him. I just asked him, sir, is there any scope for it? Can we go a little bit higher? He said, no, we have a standard range and that is how much you are going to get paid. I'm like, fine, no problem. I'll just give me a day's time. I'll come home. We all say that, we will discuss to parents and all, but generally we know the answer, isn't it? That intuition you always will be having from inside that ये करना है या नहीं करना है. So just like that, I started thinking. Then obviously I took consultation from my parents, and they were like, money is not a priority because I was barely 22 years old. अगर 22वें साल में पैसा तुम्हारा is the only aim, then you won't go far. That is what I can definitely say to everybody. It is a long process. हम लोग जैसे बोलते हैं कि there is no shortcut to success. So this is how it started. I accepted the offer. Job started very well. I picked up the skills, and because of the way I was working, in 1 year of my tenure, I have gotten 6 promotions. Okay, nice for a person who started, from 3,500 rupees. Maybe I rejected that offer, but from 7,000 I started, and eventually I reached to some amount after 1 year. So I was in a good condition. I thought, fine, no problem. Let's give it a go. Let's be here for 1 more year, and in the meantime, the entrepreneurial bug was going on. That I know now I can work. Can we try something out? So one day, me and my friend were sitting specifically in Cannot area, as you all are aware of. Most of the discussions used to happen there back then, because we had no malls and no nothing. So we used to all go to Cannot and discuss. So he's like, this job and all is fine, but we want to do something. I said, yeah, why not? I also want to do something, but what? So his plain and simple idea was, let's start dogs hostel. Because that time nobody had any idea about it, that it can really be a concept. Because obviously,
dog shelter.
Yeah. Let's say you have a dog who's very dear and loving to you. अब तुम लोगों को दुबई जाना है. Unfortunately, you can't take dog to Dubai. In certain cases you can, but then यार generally लोग इतना हासिल करते नहीं है. वो केस में क्या करोगे? There has to be something जहाँ पे you are completely sure that your dog is very well taken care of. तो ऐसा उसका concept था. Idea मुझे पसंद आया, but then यार again it was something I'm not convinced. देखो idea हमारे सबके दिमाग में आते हैं, right? So I have said it once during our annual days that IPL जो है कपिल देव का आइडिया था. ओके, कि IPL होना चाहिए. This was actually Kapil Dev's idea, but then somebody else executed it. That's why his name, unfortunately, was not associated with it. So same thing happened with me. I thought dog shelter nahi, let us do one thing. Simultaneously, one of my senses was developing. Okay, that is sense of food. Generally क्या होता है यार कि कुछ लोग खाने के बहुत शौकीन होते हैं, कुछ लोग like us, कुछ लोग खाने के बिल्कुल भी शौकीन नहीं होते हैं. But then there is a difference. There is a difference between a disciple and there is a difference between a devotee. And I was a devotee. बचपन से क्या होता था ना, मैं जब भी उठ के आता था, whatever my mother used to prepare, just by the smell of it, I always used to tell them what's getting cooked at home. And everybody used to wonder a lot about this, that how do you guess it? So my senses were going very strong. Now what happened, as I started growing up, I obviously had very good exposure to food. And being from a Brahmin family, it's not that you can't have this, you can't have, and I have never kept it as a secret from my parents. I told them, I in fact tried it with them. Okay, so I had it for the first time. I always wanted to do something about food. So what I thought, let's do one thing. Generally what used to happen, be it my parents, be it my friends, or be it anybody related to me, whenever they wanted to celebrate any special occasion, they used to come and ask me where should we go and what should we eat. So this has become quite a phenomenon. यार औरंगाबाद में जाना है, what is the place? Now चूजिंग प्लेस इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है ना, लोगों को कहाँ जाके क्या ऑर्डर करना है, दैट इज अ बिग प्रॉब्लम. Right? Let's say, for example, tomorrow if we go to some XYZ hotel, problem is we are not going to look for hotel speciality. Instead, you will order the thing that you like the most, and that's how कभी कभी क्या हो जाता है, इसकी वजह से the experience is not good. होटल का स्पेशलिटी कुछ और है, तुमने कुछ और मंगाया. अनफॉर्चुनेटली कुछ लोग होटल को बोलते हैं दैट द टेस्ट इज नॉट गुड. कुछ लोग होते हैं जो रिव्यू कभी नहीं देते हैं, बट देन दे विल नेवर स्टेप बैक इनटू द होटल अगेन. Right.
Yeah.
So I understood that there is some sort of discrepancy that is happening कि किसी ने जाके क्या खाना चाहिए. So my solution to this specific problem was people who are confused about menu card. You don't have to touch menu card. We will select menu for you. You just have to go to the hotel, pay the bill and come back. Obviously eat the food as well. ठीक है. सो डॉग हॉस्टल से हम लोग अचानक इस पे पहुंच गए.
Food is a very great topic in our office, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously.
Because what is your favorite thing? Because we've had a lot of food. We've had Amiga pizza, we've had Salala's chicken pockets and all of that. I've fed you all everything that I know.
Yes.
So what is your personal favorite thing that you've had in Aurangabad?
Personal favorite thing that I've had is the dish that I've had at your home, basically the one that you brought, khamiri roti and the chicken salad. That you brought. So that was really amazing, and that definitely I'll take it to my grave. Amazing dish.
Yeah, we have now. I don't know if I have started that. It is a ritual now. कि हर दिन lunch के बाद something will come.
Absolutely, and you have to have something sweet.
Yeah, it
Though it is dangerous, but then people who can, have some health left, who has a lot of long life left, I can definitely say that please have something sweet after food. It will complete that entire meal.
Yeah. So we had a lot of food. I loved it.
Absolutely. So this is how we started basically, and that is how the venture that I started at the age of 23 was Fooditarian.
What was his name? Sorry.
The name was Fooditarian. So basically, what we do is vegetarian, non-vegetarian. That's how we wanted to categorize it as Fooditarian altogether. So we went to all the hotels, we collected everybody's data, we tried everybody's signature dish, and we started recommended it to people on our website page. Now this I am talking about 2009. Okay, internet was not a thing back then at all.
It was very rare.
It was very rare, and more than that, people कभी देखते नहीं थे इंटरनेट पे, देख के कभी खाने के लिए जाते नहीं थे. It was all that जो दोस्त ने बोला है या जो किसी ने बोला है, वो मोस्टली व्यू रहता था कि यार ठीक है, किसी ने कुछ रिकमेंड कर दिया, चलो यहाँ खाने के लिए जाते हैं, समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. सो फाइनली हमने जब ये आइडिया शुरू किया, अब नाउ माय को-फाउंडर he also liked the idea. He's like, what we'll do, we'll collect information from hotel. So simultaneously, even their hotel will get marketed.
So this was the same person who suggested you the dog
hostel.
The dog idea. Okay.
Yes, same. Again, and this idea we got in Cannot only. Okay.
That is a headquarters of ideas. Also.
Yeah, absolutely. So idea was finalized, structure was finalized, but the only thing that was lacking was experience. Because problem क्या होता है ना, हम लोग हमेशा सुनते हैं लाइफ में कि unless and until तुम्हारा टाइम आया है, या unless and until you have reached certain kind of experience, either it works for you or either it doesn't work for you. So हमारे केस में वो हो गया. Though despite of us having 150 hotels back in 2009, unfortunately, if let's say if two couple are going to eat pastry, they are ordering a 50 rupees pastry, how much discount are we supposed to give them? And why would a restaurant give them a discount?
Obviously.
So that is how it all started. Then my co-founder, he was saying that, I'm having very difficult time. You maybe can manage the financial part, but then he was not at all in a position, so he backed out. He backed out from the venture. Then my decision was what to do next. Should I keep it going or should I close all the doors and do what? No idea. So I kept the business going for around two more years. But then ultimately the end was written and I have closed the venture in 2013. Okay. जॉब खत्म हो गया, घर पे आया मैं, ऑफिस वगैरह सब शट डाउन कर दिया. ऑब्वियसली यार इट्स अ वेरी सैड फीलिंग. तुमने बहुत कुछ तुम सोचते हो, तुमको लगता है कि ये मेरा ड्रीम है. बट प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, दिस इज व्हाट ऑलमाइटी वांट्स टू टीच यू ऑलवेज. हमारा क्या होता है ना, सक्सेस जब तक आदमी सक्सेस की लैडर चढ़ रहा है, लाइफ इज वेरी गुड. द मोमेंट समथिंग फेल्स इन योर लाइफ,
Everything shatters.
फिर आदमी के जो प्लान्स होते हैं कि मैं किसी दिन BMW लूंगा, ऑडी लूंगा, मर्सिडीज में घूमूंगा,
It's all gone.
सब गॉन. तुम्हारे पास दूसरे दिन काम क्या करना है उठ के, यू डोंट हैव रेडी एनीथिंग टू डू. मैं घर पे आया, घर वालों ने पूछा अब क्या है. करना था बिजनेस, हो गया बिजनेस, अब क्या है. मेरे पास फिर भी एक हिम्मत बची हुई थी. मैंने मेरे दूसरे दोस्त के साथ कांटेक्ट किया एंड वी स्टार्टेड सरप्राइजिंगली पफ पैनल का बिजनेस.
What's that?
यू हैव एनी आइडिया अबाउट पफ पैनल?
No.
ये सिंगल जो शेड आते हैं, सिंगल स्किन जो पतरा आता है बेसिकली, हम लोग जो लगाते हैं, और इवन वट एवर हैज बीन इंस्टॉल्ड हियर.
Yeah.
सो इसमें क्या होता है ना, जनरली फार्मा इंडस्ट्रीज नीड वन स्पेसिफिक रूफिंग मटेरियल सो दैट द टेम्परेचर इनसाइड कैन बी केप्ट कूलर. बिकॉज मेडिसिन के लिए कूल टेम्परेचर लगता है. So one of my friend was associated with that business, but then he was very bad at management.
Oh.
So what he thought, यार मैं काम लेके आता हूँ, तुम मैनेजमेंट कर लो. ठीक है, मैं बोला कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मैनेजमेंट एज इट इज, मैं जितना भी जॉब किया था थोड़ी बहुत मैनेजमेंट मैंने सीखी थी. बट इस बार मुझे मैनेज करना था इलिटरेट लोगों को, लेबर लोगों को जो जेब में चाकू लेके घूमते थे.
Seriously?
अरे यार, obviously not everybody is of that, but then when you have a gang of 10 people, there will always be one that leader who will be running the entire show and he will be the one having everything. So my job was basically at 9 o'clock on a daily basis, gather all of them, put them into rickshaw and send them into one factory in Vaduz. Fine, it was part of job. I was very interested. I was like, fine, no problem. Dealing with illiterate man, I am telling you, is very easy than dealing with literate man, because illiterate people doesn't argue many things. You tell them to do certain things, they will go ahead and do that. Same thing you ask any educated person to do, he will ask you 10 questions.
He'll bring logic into it.
He will completely bring logic into it. So I was like, fine, my day was going fine. You can imagine now, whatever we have spent, everything was done. It was finally the day where we were supposed to get our first check from the client. Big check. We all were waiting and we were having chat. Around 5 o'clock, we got the news that so and so amount has been credited. We all were happy. We were like, why to wait at चाय, पकोड़े भी खाते हैं, दूसरा भी करते हैं. सब लेबर लोगों को हमने बुलाया, सबको खाना खिलाया. उस दिन सब हो गया. जैसे लोग खा रहे थे, 1 घंटे में मैसेज आया कि every single rupee of that amount has been debited from your account.
So they took it back.
Now this is what we all started wondering. But पहला प्रॉब्लम क्या था, अब ये इतने लोग जो खा रहे हैं उनका क्या है. That was a bigger problem कि पैसे गए कहाँ पे, वो तो इन्वेस्टिगेट हमको करना ही था. But the bigger problem was how to take care of the mess that we have already created. So somehow मतलब back then ना उधारी चलती थी. आजकल वो कंसेप्ट बहुत कम लोगों के पास रहता है कि if you are really very genuine and loyal customer of some shop, then only you go and they give you some sort of udhari or credit, whatever you want to call it. So हमारा क्रेडिट चलता था वहां पे. He is like, ठीक है यार, इधर हर रोज के लोग हैं एंड ये लोग शक्ल सूरत से भी ठीक ठाक ही दिखते हैं, so they won't फंसा हुआ कम से कम. तो हमने उसको बोल दिया ठीक है भाई, खाते में लिख ले जितना है, तो क्योंकि बड़ा बिल बना था. We are like, fine, obviously. Chalo, now let's start investigating what exactly happened with the money. So 2 years back, one of my partners took money from one of his friends, and in return he gave him blank check, साइन करके, कि जिस दिन मेरे पास पैसा आएगा उस दिन तू उस पे वो अमाउंट डाल देना, यू गो क्रेडिट इट टू द बैंक एंड यू विल गेट योर मनी. Now you see the luck that the money that we very hardly earned, that too out of first failure. It was a big shock for us. हम गए, हमको समझ में आया कि भाई उसने तो चेक डाल के पूरे पैसे निकाल दिए. हमने इसको पूछा अभी क्या पैसों का, इज लाइक अभी और नया कुछ तो भी करेंगे. एंड दिस वाज माय सेकंड एक्सपीरियंस. ये दूसरी बार मेरा दिल टूट के मैं घर पे आया था. जनरली लड़कों की आदत क्या होती है, दैट वी डोंट शेयर दीज थिंग्स विद पेरेंट्स. नहीं कि नहीं, लड़कों के लिए दोस्त होते हैं, ठीक है, उनको लगता है कि यार चलो दोस्तों से बात करते हैं, कुछ भी भले कुछ भी हो जाए, वो तुमको गालियां देंगे, बट एटलीस्ट यू नीड टू हैव सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सेट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स और सेट ऑफ पीपल हु यू कैन फॉल बैक ऑन टू अगर लाइफ में कोई बड़ी ट्रेजेडी होती है तो. क्योंकि मैंने जैसे स्टार्टिंग में बोला, सक्सेस हैंडल करना सबको आता है, फेल्यूर अगर किसी को हैंडल करना है ना, यू डोंट नो. एंड दैट इज द ओनली टाइम वेयर यू विल कम टू नो दैट पीपल ऑल्सो डोंट नो हाउ टू डू इट. दूसरी बार दिल तोड़ के घर पे गया, घर वालों ने वही पूछा क्या हुआ. अब क्या है. पहली बार हो गया, समझ सकते हैं बैड लक. दूसरी बार हो गया, अब क्या है, नाउ इनफ. Now again you have to stop everything and go back and do job. अब जॉब किस चीज में करेंगे? I had two options. First, do in what I have learned, that is animation. Or second, do in something that I know that I have done it in the best way possible. That is transcription. Maybe destiny was written in such a way that again I got introduced in 2013 to transcription industry. मैंने कसम खा ली थी जिस दिन मेरा लास्ट जॉब था कि इसके बाद में मैं ट्रांसक्रिप्शन में काम नहीं करूंगा. बट नाउ यू सी द फ्यूचर. 3 साल के बाद में 2 अनसक्सेसफुल बिजनेसेस के साथ 23 साल का लड़का है यार, क्या एक्सपेक्ट करोगे तुम? डोंट नो हाउ टू हैंडल इमोशंस, डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू एग्जैक्टली. हर 23-24 साल का लड़का, अगर जो जनरली लोग शादी करने के लिए जाते हैं एंड जो लड़कियां लोगों को पैकेज पूछती है कि 5 लाख का पैकेज है, 12 लाख का पैकेज है, 20 लाख का पैकेज है, एक 24-25 साल का लड़का 12 से 20 लाख का पैकेज कहां से कमाएगा? यू हैव टू बी ब्लडी वेरी ब्रिलियंट फॉर दैट. इसीलिए हमेशा मैं बोलता हूं कि पीपल शुड लुक एट वंस पोटेंशियल रादर देन वंस अर्निंग. पोटेंशियल अगर तुम्हारे में है ना, टाइम सबका बदलता है. टाइम हमने देखा है, पत्थरों का अगर बदल गया है, किसी भी पत्थर को लोग सिंदूर लगा के उसको भगवान बोलने लगते हैं. हम सब तो इंसान है. टाइम किसी का भी बदल जाता है कि नहीं? इसलिए अगेन सेम थिंग वी स्टार्टेड डूइंग. घर वालों ने बोला आप सब बंद, अभी जॉब करना है. जब तक मेरा भी बिजनेस का कीड़ा ठंडा हो चुका था. ट्वाइस यार, 2 बार फेल्यूर हो चुका था. पैसे का जाने दो, पैसे डूब गए, दैट इज वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट पार्ट. बट मोर देन दैट, आदमी जो मॉरली ब्रेक होता है ना, दैट इज समथिंग वेरी डिफिकल्ट. एंड मुझे लाइफ में ये 2 ही बार फीलिंग आई थी. पहली बार जब मेरा सबसे पहली बार ब्रेकअप हुआ था. वी ऑल आर अवेयर, फर्स्ट ब्रेकअप जो होता है आदमी का, इट टेक्स अ लॉट फ्रॉम यू. एंड सेकंड टाइम तुम ये डेवास्टेटिंग कंडीशन में जाते हो व्हेन योर बिजनेस फेल्स. तो 24 साल का लड़का, अगेन आई वाज वेरी क्लूलेस इन माय लाइफ. अभी क्या करेंगे, है कि नहीं? सब करके देखा, करने की बहुत चाहत है. भाग मिल्खा भाग मूवी देखना है, मुझे सब करना है लाइफ में, बट व्हाट टू डू? देन फाइनली बैक इन 2023 अगेन आई टुक अ डिसीजन दैट लेट मी गेट इनटू जॉब. 2 फेलिंग बिजनेस के बाद में मैंने अगेन जॉब पकड़ा. आई वाज इन पुणे फॉर 1.5 years. वहां पे I got luckily a very good opportunity in one of the MNCs, so I shifted from Pune to Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, I worked for 4.5 years. वहाँ से I have shifted to one more company and I have worked there for almost 3 years, and which was a Fortune 500 company. I got to work there as a training specialist. After that, my journey ended from South India, and मैं इडली डोसा खाने के बाद में I directly moved to North.
Okay.
So the job that I switched from Hyderabad was directly to Gurgaon. अब प्रॉब्लम ऐसे था कि गुड़गांव में मैंने जॉब पकड़ लिया, बट देन वो जॉब मैंने थोड़ा जल्दी स्विच कर लिया. द नेक्स्ट जॉब दैट आई हैड दैट वाज इन नोएडा. अब डेली अगर जिसको गुड़गांव से नोएडा जाना है, तुम पूछ के देखना, तुमको 3 स्टेट्स क्रॉस करके जाने पड़ते हैं, राइट? क्योंकि हरियाणा, गुड़गांव आता है हरियाणा में, दिल्ली इज अ स्टेट इन इटसेल्फ, एंड नोएडा आता है उत्तर प्रदेश में.
Okay, so you have to cross 3 states.
So the time that I used to spend on a daily basis just for the sake of traveling from Gurgaon to Noida was 1.5 hour. मेरा शिफ्ट सुबह 7 बजे का होता था. तुम सोचो, अगर तुमको 7 बजे का शिफ्ट है, तुमको ऑफिस में जल्दी पहुंचना है, तो तुमको सुबह उठना कितने बजे पड़ेगा? हाँ, एक 1.5 hour जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ ट्रैवलिंग यू आर डूइंग. शाम का वही नाटक है, सुबह का वही नाटक है. सो दैट मीन्स प्रीटी मच आई हैड टू वेक अप एट 3.5, 3:30 बजे या 4 बजे उठना ही पड़ता था यार, कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं था तुमको. वो करो, 3 स्टेट्स पार करो, ऑफिस जाओ. वो होने के बाद में शाम में अगेन 3 स्टेट्स पार करो, वापस आओ, घर में आओ. अच्छा, घर में आए तो अगेन वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट यू नो आई हैव डन इन माय लाइफ इज आई हैव नेवर स्टेड विद रूममेट्स. 12 साल में घर से बाहर रहा हूँ, जिसमें से 11 साल में विदाउट रूममेट्स के साथ रहा, मतलब विदाउट रूममेट्स रहा हूँ. आई वॉज कंप्लीटली ऑन माई ओन. 1 साल मेरा रूममेट था, बट देन अनफॉर्चुनेटली फाइंडिंग अ गुड रूममेट इज लाइक हैविंग अ वेरी गुड वाइफ. वेरी हार्ड टू फाइंड.
We had a talk about this. Your roommate was into some things.
Absolutely, he was into various things, and when I saw it with my own eyes, I was like, you know, it's better. You can stay alone. You need to be patient with yourself. एक प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है ना मुदस्सिर, आई टेल यू. लोग आजकल, you see anybody, people are continuously on phone. Many people have done many researches on this, and everybody ultimately came to one conclusion: you can't stay quiet. That means your mind can't stay quiet. That is the whole reason you need complete distractions every now and then. बैठ ही नहीं सकता है यार, कुछ ना कुछ ख्याल आ जाएगा, निगेटिव ख्याल आ जाएगा, पास्ट का ख्याल आ जाएगा, प्रेजेंट का ख्याल आ जाएगा, सब डूब गया तो फ्यूचर का ख्याल आ जाएगा, यार मैंने इतना सब कुछ बनाया है, किसी दिन सब छूट गया तो. सो 2019 तक I kept on doing job after 2 consecutive failures. Sorry for the long answer, but then you know this is something that I wanted to share, because not many people who are around me are aware that I had a long struggle. पहले सबको क्या लगता था कि you know, अरे यार इसके father और mother तो बैंक में है. You know, you can understand if some guy is coming from, let's say, a middle class family or any sort of affluent family, तुम जैसे बोलते हो कि अरे यार तुम्हारा लाइफ तो बहुत आसान रहा होगा. आसान नहीं होता है यार. Everybody have to go through failures, everybody will have to go through hardships, and everybody will have to go through struggles in their own life. बस एक चीज है कि अगर who's you know financially not good, that person might be sitting on the street and crying, and the person who is from affluent family, he will be sitting in BMW and crying. आंसू की वैल्यू दो ही सेम ही है. So you know, this is what my initial journey of transcription is. 2019 तक मेरे साथ क्या हुआ, I have told you everything.
So in the 2 failures that you faced, which was one of your first businesses and then the second one, so what was the biggest learning that you took into your current business from those 2?
The one biggest learning that I have taken is trust yourself only. Business में you will get to meet so many people and you will easily get influenced by people. एक सिंपल सी बात है यार, अगर तुमको कहाँ पे जाना है, लेट्स से तुम्हारो कोई ग्रोसरी शॉप में जाके तुमको उसको क्रेडिट बनाना है, अपना वहां पे उधारी बनानी है, तुम लोग क्या करोगे?
We'll talk to that person if they have such a system like that.
Right. So we will talk to that person in a very manipulative way. राइट. कैसा है, तुम हर रोज वहां पे गए, अरे कैसे चल रहा है भाई, खाना खाया क्या, फैमिली कैसी है, क्या है, कुछ नहीं. एंड स्लोली व्हेन यू स्टार्ट डूइंग दिस थिंग ओवर अ टाइम, एक क्या होता है ना, आदमी का भरोसा बैठ जाता है. देन एक दिन अचानक ऑल ऑफ अ सडन तुमने क्या करना है, तुमने जाना है शॉप वाले के पास में, यू गो एंड टेल हिम, बॉस आज वॉलेट भूल गया. he will 100% without hesitating for a second, he will tell you ठीक है यार लेके जाओ,
बाद में दे देना।
सो मेरी लाइफ में मैंने यही सीखा था कि अगर किसी के साथ तुम्हारा रिलेशन अच्छा है, सामने वाला क्रेडिट देता है कि नहीं? फैमिली तुम्हारा जो कोई भी नीड है पूरा कर रही है, यू हैव योर फ्रेंड्स, सो यू डोंट हैव टू बेसिकली गो थ्रू एनी हार्डशिप। बट मुझे पहली बार जब ऐसा लगा कि किसी ने धोखा दिया है, आई हैड नो वेयर टू गो, मुझे लगा ये क्यों हुआ है। सो ये पहली फीलिंग थी मेरी लोगों के साथ में, दैट ट्रस्टिंग पीपल, हम लोग जो बोलते हैं ट्रस्ट दीज डेज इज अ वेरी पोल्यूटेड वर्ड अकॉर्डिंग टू मी। ठीक है, लोगों का जो पर्पस होता है उसी तरह से लोगों का कॉन्वर्सेशन होता है, उसी तरह से लोगों का मैनिपुलेशन होता है। इफ यू रियली वांट टू नो समबडी, यू हैव टू एक्चुअली स्पेंड टाइम विद दैट पर्सन, and over a period of time only you can start trusting if one is the one that you want to go ahead with, or this one person is a fake person. So this is the biggest lesson I have got from the two failures that I have had. It's not that I had a regret of any sort, but भरोसा जो आदमी को है, भरोसा आदमी को टाइम सिखाता है, इंसान नहीं सिखाते।
Yeah. And now you worked till 2019, you're saying, and after that you opened your own company. And how did that go? Like वापस से after working for so many years, आपके अंदर वो कीड़ा वापस आ गया था, I have to open my business again.
Absolutely. So 2 attempts होने के बाद थर्ड अटेम्प्ट करना, ये पहली बात बहुत लोगों के हिसाब से बेवकूफी होती है। बिकॉज क्या होता है ना, आदमी अपने आप को बहुत कम चांसेस देता है लाइफ में। ठीक है, हमारी अगर पढ़ाई हम लोग देख लेते हैं तो सबके पेरेंट्स को लगता है मेरा बच्चा मेरिट में आना चाहिए, मेरा बच्चा 10th में उसको 100% आने चाहिए, 90 आने चाहिए, 70 आने चाहिए। जिनको आए बहुत अच्छी बात है, जिनको आया नहीं उनका क्या है, राइट? देयर हैज टू बी सम सॉर्ट ऑफ ट्रिगरिंग मोमेंट इन योर लाइफ विच वुड से कि यार आज से मैं सबको बताऊंगा कि मैं कौन हूं। हर एक के लाइफ में ऐसा ट्रिगरिंग पॉइंट आता है। ठीक है, वो भले किसी को देख के हो, किसी पॉलिटिशियन को देख के हो, किसी स्पोर्ट्समैन को देख के हो, किसी कार को देख के हो, एनीथिंग कैन इंस्पायर यू इन लाइफ, नथिंग एल्स। सो एक जो मेरा ड्राइविंग फैक्टर था सबसे बड़ा, दैट वाज टू हैव एवरीथिंग टू द बेस्ट ऑफ व्हाट वर्ल्ड हैज टू ऑफर। लाइक अगर तुमको कोई चीज खरीदनी है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल टुमारो यू हैव टू गो एंड बाय रोलेक्स, यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक ट्वाइस that after spending so much amount of money, will I be able to survive for next 10 years? If you are asking yourself that question, then you are not supposed to buy a Rolex. So same is the scenario that was happening with me, that at the end of it, I knew कि मैंने यार मेरे लाइफ में बेसिक से बेसिक काम करके, the 2019 में last company that I was working for, so I had to set up an entire department for them. It was a bank from London which was newly came to India, and they wanted to set up an entire transcription department. I have done that part also. So you can imagine, for a guy who has passed out from a semi English medium, okay, so I've had lots of different schools, so it was a very big achievement. जिस दिन कंपनी ने मेरे को स्टे ऑफर किया था, so that was a very big proud moment for my father. When I went to Hyderabad, and that was my first day in MNC, the first day that I went to DLF and I saw everything, I was like खत्म हो गया, अब मुझे इसके बाद में कुछ नहीं चाहिए, है कि नहीं? दिस इज इट, अभी यहाँ पे जो कुछ भी होगा मैं जिंदगी भर काम करते रहूंगा, एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू बी माय करियर। ये वो मोमेंटरीली थॉट था। ओके, बट प्रॉब्लम क्या आता है ना कि लाइफ में जो आदमी के पास कीड़ा है, कीड़ा एज इन कीड़ा इज अ रॉन्ग वर्ड मे बी फॉर अ लैक ऑफ बेटर वर्ड, बट देन द बेटर वर्ड इज फायर। एक वो फायर होती है ना तुम्हारे अंदर, वो तुमको चुपचाप नहीं बैठने देती है। ठीक है, तुम कुछ ना कुछ फंडों में लगे हुए रहते हो, दो यू आर डूइंग जॉब, दो यू आर डूइंग ट्राइंग टू डू एवरीथिंग नॉर्मली, बट स्टिल यू विल ऑलवेज बी फीलिंग दैट आई वांट टू डू समथिंग, यार दिस इज नॉट माय पोटेंशियल, मैं पोटेंशियल तक मेरा हिट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ। ये ना फीलिंग अंदर से बहुत लोगों को रहती है। And I am 100% sure, since you are founder now, you want to do all this, that fire you can feel it inside. जिस दिन काम अच्छा होता है ना, उस दिन you can see the burn is different. और जिस दिन काम खराब होता है, जिस दिन काम नहीं करते हैं लोग, जिस दिन लाइफ में कुछ चीजें नहीं वर्क करती है, उस दिन वो फायर की बर्निंग देखना। सो ये बर्निंग थी, दैट वॉट एवर इज देयर, it's not about money, but then I want to have the most profound experience of life. That was the only kept me going for my third attempt. So 2019 को जब finally I was back in Aurangabad from Delhi, that was a cultural shock from me, because 12 साल यार तुम बाहर हो, you have seen best of life, you have seen best of food, you have seen best of whatever they have to offer as far as India is concerned. ठीक है, एक इमेजिन करना तुम लोगों ने, एक 27 से 30 साल का आदमी है, who is earning a pretty handsome amount, who is staying alone in a city like Delhi. What cannot be done? पेरेंट्स नहीं ये पूछने वाले, पैसा तुम कितना खर्च रहे हो ये कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है, पैसा खर्चना कैसे है ये वो तुमको सिटी खुद बता देगी। सो इवेंचुअली आई केम टू सच अ पॉइंट दैट माई फ्रीडम स्टार्टेड बिकमिंग माई बॉन्डेज। मेरे पास इतना फ्रीडम था, एंड दिल्ली में इतनी एक्सेसिबल है चीजें, यू नो व्हाट आई मीन, इन टर्म्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग, दैट at one point of time you get fed up of this lifestyle. Fine yaar, yeah. You are fine, you want to go to best of pubs, you want to go to, you know, best of hotels, you want to go to have best of foods, so on and so forth. तुम ये कब तक करोगे? You get fed up of it.
एक टाइम पे आके you get bored of it basically.
Exactly, isn't it? So ये मेरे लाइफ का टाइम था, वहां पे actually I started understanding business is not about money. Money is a consequence of you doing something right in your life, but money shouldn't be a focus of your business. So the company that I was working for, unfortunately few things go wrong and I had to leave the job. Okay, but when I left the job, along with me 9 other people put down the resignations. And they told me that, you know, we have worked together, we think we can definitely work together in future as well, why not start it? I was again very apprehensive, because भरोसा नहीं है यार, 2 बार फेल्यूर, तीसरी बार तुम अगर बने तो तुम सबसे बड़े उल्लू बनोगे, कि तुझे लाइफ ने पहले 2 इतने अच्छे लेसन दिए थे, why you still again want to go into it? बट देन इससे पहले मुझे हमेशा ऐसे था कि आई नेवर हैड एन आइडिया कि यार ये करूं वो करूं, मुझे खाना भी पसंद आता था, मुझे लगता था, यू नो, वी शुड हैव अ ब्रांड ऑफ सम सॉर्ट, मुझे परफ्यूम्स का भी बहुत शौक है, तो मुझे लगता था कभी कभी, यू नो, आई शुड लीव एवरीथिंग, आई शुड गो टू पेरिस एंड आई शुड लर्न परफ्यूमरी, because world is full of possibilities.
We've had a discussion about this.
Yes, we definitely have had a discussion about this कि यार ऐसा भी एक टाइम था कि तुम अभी क्या करना क्या चाह रहे हो, बट देन फाइनली आई थॉट कि जो चीज मुझे बेस्ट आती है, मैंने उसके ऊपर कभी इससे पहले गौर नहीं किया था। एंड जो टीम मेरे साथ उस दिन निकली बाहर, जिन्होंने मुझे बोला दैट वी वांट टू वर्क विथ यू, आई सिंपली आस्क्ड देम व्हाई, they only said the one thing, because you are one of the best trainers that we have seen so far. तो अभी तक का अगर अपना सफर ऐसा है, you can imagine if we are starting our own company tomorrow, what can happen? Thought was very good, but then again lot of things were required in order to do so. So एक रात बैठा मैं अकेले में, luckily you guys are 3-4. So that makes it pretty simple, you know.
Yeah.
सिर्फ अगर एक आदमी बैठता है and the entire world is opposing you, कि कुछ भी हो जाए भाई, तू सब कुछ कर दे, अभी सिर्फ बिजनेस का नाम मत निकाल। And simultaneously my parents were trying to get me married. कि अभी हो गया बाबा, अभी कितने साल है, ठीक है, जॉब करियर सब चल रहा है, हमारा क्या है, तू हमारा बेटा है, ये भी तो तेरा फर्ज है।
And you're the only son.
I am the only son. I have 3 sisters, so घर का भी तो तुमको सब संभालना ही है कि नहीं? Thankfully, my father and my mother both are such a wonderful people that since they have had that exposure of working, so they always understood my condition. इसलिए आज भी जब किसी दिन खराब होके मैं घर पे जाता हूँ, they understand that office में आज कुछ तो भी हुआ है, and they don't talk to me for that day. So इसको बोलते हैं ना अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप होना एक दूसरे के साथ में. एंड अगर तुम लोग लाइफ में किसी दिन खुद भी पार्टनर ढूंढोगे तो प्लीज ट्राई टू लुक फॉर दिस थिंग कि जिस दिन ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप हो गई विदाउट हैविंग टू टॉक फॉर इट, तुमने सामने वाले का चेहरा देख लिया और तुमने समझ लिया टुडे ही इज गॉन, ही इज कंप्लीटली ड्रेन्ड आउट एंड आई डोंट वांट टू टॉक टू हिम or he shouldn't be disturbed today, that is the day you will say that you are having a very wonderful relationship. So इतना सब होने के बाद सर थर्ड वेंचर के लिए because of people, because of almighty and because of certain conditions, I again took a chance for the third time, because as they always say, third time is a lucky charm. So जो बंदा जो हमेशा से बिजनेस करना चाहता था फ्रॉम द एज ऑफ 22, फाइनली मेरा टाइम आया व्हेन माय एज वाज 32. 10 साल ऊपर वाले ने रुकाया. वर्थ इट था. व्हाई? बिकॉज ये 10 साल में मैं जो कुछ भी सीखा, वो 10 साल अगर मैं वो बिजनेस में लगा पाता था, इट वुड हैव बीन अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी. टुडे यू सी, बैक इन 2009 and 2008 I was talking about internet. 2010 and 2012 में Zomato आया, Food Panda आया. Could have been a different story if I would have had that much amount of experience back then. So this is something about my final and third business.
And how is it going?
So it's going absolutely phenomenal. Like I said earlier, I was looking for something else, but then when I realized that transcription is something that I should take my career into, because I know that thing the best, I have done it the best, I know how to make people best at it. So when you have this combination of three things together, you can work, you can train, and you can fight any situation that you can encounter or that you can name off, then I would say you are a complete businessman. और थोड़ी सी बेशर्मी भी चाहिए
obviously.
है कि नहीं? So I realized at that point of time that now it's high time I should get into it. Transcription, I have done that thing for almost 15 years. I have a wonderful team. The founding members who I have had, 3 of them are still with me. They have done everything they can, and they are still doing everything they can to grow the company. And you can imagine, Mudassir, people who started company with 4 actual founding members. 1 लाख रुपए इन्वेस्टमेंट था उसका. क्या था उसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट? I luckily had a client, but then did not have a place. तुम किसी को बोल नहीं सकते थे घर वालों को कि अभी पैसे दो, अभी बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है. There is no bloody way you can again say the same thing. So I have arranged 1 lakh rupees. I have taken 2 laptops on my debit card. Installment जो आता है. We have taken a house, a very small 200 square feet office at Golden City Center. And 5 years forward, we are now dealing with 96 people, and our current count that we deliver is 7,53,093 minutes. So coming from a very small, beginning, कि मैं होटल्स वालों के पास जाता था, आज भी मुझे याद है कि सर होटल का इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए है, टू रीच टू अ स्टेज दैट वी आर वर्किंग विथ वन ऑफ द टॉप मोस्ट क्लाइंट्स, दैट इज नासा एंड यूएस गवर्नमेंट. सो यार अगर तुम वो 24 साल के बच्चे को पूछोगे, सो उसने बहुत कुछ कर लिया है.
That is very inspirational for me because, okay, I have a very nice topic, which is, I found it very weird at the very starting when you received your watch. That was the first watch in front of me, and you always unbox your watches in front of your company employees and all of that, in front of your team. And I think the first watch that you got was Longines, the green one that you have, and you have a very big history with Rolex. You had a very big one-sided ego war with them to get the purchase history and all of that. How did that go? And I notice you're wearing a Rolex right now. So
Absolutely.
How did it go?
So it's a very interesting story, So if we really want to talk about brands, Now, when we talk about brands, let's talk about one of the best brands of the world. Okay, first definitely being Rolex. Patek Philippe is there, Audemars Piguet is there. As far as fashion houses are concerned, LV is there, Hermes is there. So these are basically pure ultra luxury brands. Now, when you want to become part of them, it's not that easy. So generally, how it goes is Rolex doesn't show you the time, but Rolex shows you how your time is going. ठीक है. तो after initial boost that I had in terms of my business, जब आदमी के पास पैसा आता है ना तो आदमी को शौक लगते हैं कोई कोई चीजों के. ठीक है. तो वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट आई रियली वाज इनटू वाज परफ्यूम्स. आई वॉज रियली इंटू इट कि मेरा प्लान मैंने बना लिया था कि दुनिया में वॉट एवर देर इज बेस्ट आउट टू बाय, आई विल ट्राई माई लेवल बेस्ट टू बाय इट. एंड वंस दैट स्क्रैच वॉज इच्ड, then second thing that I got into was watches. I started loving watches like anything, and it so used to happen that the watch that you were talking about, Longines one, green one, so that was my first luxury watch. And it so used to happen that I wanted car as well. बचपन से मेरा सपना था, जैसे सब छोटे होते थे, होली रहती थी, राइट. तो होली में मुझे याद है कि होली के दिन ना हम लोग सब मेन रोड पे खड़े रहते थे, बच्चे होते थे सब लोग मेरे साथ, 4-5 दोस्त, और वहां से जो भी लग्जरी गाड़ी जाएगी उसके ऊपर हम लोग पानी उड़ाते थे. ठीक है. अब तुम लोग पूछोगे इसमें खासियत क्या है. खासियत इसमें एक है कि मैंने एक स्पेसिफिक वर्ड यूज किया, हम लोग सिर्फ लग्जरी कार्स पे पानी उड़ाते थे. ऐसा नहीं था कि दैट एवरी कार इज गोइंग एंड देन वी आर स्प्रेइंग वाटर ऑन दैट. बट द मोमेंट आई यूज टू सी दोस कार्स, समथिंग यूज टू हैपन मी. I still, when I sit in the car and still when I drive it, my mental state become of a 9-year-old. This is generally how a man feels about cars. So when I, for the first time, went to buy my car, that time obviously I had to pair up, because the thing is, I always believe that a man should eat well, sleep well, dress well, smell well, and drive well. So considering if you really want to take these 5 things into consideration, I needed to pair something with my car. So my car obviously is a green color, and I wanted something of green color. So when I started searching options after options after options, so ultimately that was the first watch that I found in love with. That was the Longines one. Okay. So I wore that watch. I was very happy. It was matching with the car, so on and so forth. Then it became an addiction. Because now what you feel, you have type of one sort. Now what's out there in the market, you want to see the broader horizon now. Then after that I started collecting small watches. So my second big purchase was Omega C Diver Paris 2024 Olympic edition.
Yeah, that was also unboxed.
So that I unboxed pretty much in office. And once I reached to a stage, then I came to know that ये सब रहने से फायदा नहीं है, सबका किंग एक है, Rolex. That unless and until you have Rolex in your collection is not full. मैंने Rolex को फोन लगाया, मुझे घड़ी चाहिए है, सर 1.5 साल बाद आना बोले. Now for a person who all of a sudden is doing something good in his life, is trying to buy something that whatever he wants to buy, now all of a sudden a shop is telling you come after 1.5 years. I am like, what is this? So I started understanding Rolex's history, and eventually I came to know that you need to have a purchase history of certain sort, without which Rolex doesn't sell their watches to you, or otherwise you have to have one of your relatives working there. So in order for me to buy this specific Batman version, so this version, I'm not sure if camera can zoom in or not, but it's been more than 2 months since I've bought the watch, and it took me lots and lots of hustling in order to get this. First, you have to clear the criteria of Rolex. Secondly, they say you can't use credit cards. You have to send money from your personal account. Third, you can't use your company account. Fourth, they will not send you watch anywhere. Wherever watch is available, you have to go and pick it up. Fifth one, there are certain watches that if I still want to buy, they have waiting of 20 years. So I am talking about a brand new retail Rolex watch. You go to gray market, you can find anything. That's not a problem. But as far as retail is concerned, so this is how, this is the history. You have to have a purchase history of around 25 to 30 lakhs in order to get a single Rolex from the brand.
And then I have heard if you buy one Rolex, you have to wait a certain amount of time before buying the
Yes, then
second one.
another thing is, now let's say, if you are one of the lucky people whose name get listed into the interests. Fine, you are thinking that, fine, finally I am buying a Rolex. Let's do one thing, let's buy one more. There are many people in the world who might be having this feeling. So even I had this brain wave that should I pull the trigger? Should I pull the trigger? The moment I asked that person, he clearly said, "Sir, no." I said, again, you are saying no. So he said, the policy is you can't buy another Rolex for 90 days. So once you purchase a Rolex, there is a waiting period of 90 days. Before that, no single Rolex can be purchased. You have to wait for 90 days and you can have whatever you can want.
That that is crazy. How many watches do you have right now?
So right now I've got 18 watches in my collection, and the entire worth, if you'll be asking me, so entire worth is around 55 lakh rupees.
Of the entire collection,
Of the
including
entire
Rolex
collection.
and everything.
Including every single watch that I've got with me.
Okay, see, I worked with you for a year and 3 months, and I've seen you rotating all your watches. But then, since Rolex came into the picture, you're rotating Rolex more than any other watches. You're wearing it more.
See,
like
it's
it
like,
would-
as a child, you will be having certain dreams. I still remember as a kid, three things I can vividly remember. First is Arnold Schwarzenegger holding a gun in his hand.
Hmm.
Okay. Second thing I remember as a kid, Lamborghini. Wild poster of Lamborghini on your wall. And third thing I remember as a child is Rolex.
Uh-huh.
So when we talk about something that you wanted desperately or you were cherishing from your childhood, then obviously what people do, people will be buying watches, but then they don't use it. They'll be keeping them in lockers. There are lots of collectors, even in Aurangabad, who will be keeping their watches in lockers. They don't wear it, but then I'm not the person. I really, really think that, if it has taken you that much amount of effort and money, you should wear it as much as you can.
People usually take it as an investment.
Yes.
You can say, because it is,
Yes.
as you said it to me once, it is a better investment than gold at this point.
Absolutely. So, I again want to tell it to all the people, those who don't know, that generally we all think that gold and real estate are the only two sources of investment apart from mutual funds. But I will tell you that if you invest in right watches will really increase in value big time, and it can give you a profit of threefold.
Yeah.
Just say, for example, I have purchased this watch. Now, if I were to sell this watch, it will ultimately give me a profit of around 7x, which a real estate can't do, because अगर तुमको property बेचने जाना है, तो you know what's the hustle.
Mhm. And okay, another interesting topic is that I have noticed this one thing, sir. Any good things take time, right? You waited for the Rolex, you waited for everything, and another huge thing that you waited for is your car.
Absolutely.
I've seen you arguing with the executives. I've seen you doing everything. We even had a discussion about the color. You wanted that specific color.
Absolutely.
So how did that story go? It is very interesting for me.
So finally, as I was telling you, that as a child, when I used to play Holi, I used to specifically spray, water on luxury
Luxury
cars.
cars.
So I was mad about it, and my dream was, one day I will not buy a house. Maybe I'll stay in a rented house, but I really want to have a good car, really good car. So it all began with Hyundai Santro. Hyundai Santro was my first car. Okay, so when I specifically went to the showroom and I asked them that what I drove before, even the person was shocked as to the transition has been very quick and very different. So Hyundai Santro, as I said, was my first car. Second car that I bought from my own money when I was doing job in Hyderabad was Hyundai Creta. Okay.
Okay.
Now, when this all business and everything panned out, I really wanted to go all guns blazing. Okay, but car had to have few criterias. Obviously, my dream car was back in the days BMW. But the day I started to search car for me, I came to know that BMW is there, brand is good, everything is there, but I was not getting connected with the car. After that, I have tried Mercedes AMG. Again, I took test drive. I have been with the car. I loved the car. Everything was there, but then the connection was missing. Then the brand, then which I not considered at all that I would even would buy someday. That is Audi. One day, I gave a call to Audi customer and I told I've got this criteria. First of all, it should be four-seater. I don't want it a two-seater car. Second of all, second criteria was the car had to have more than 300 horsepower. Okay. Third criteria was it had to have a ground clearance which will drive on Aurangabad's road. And my fourth criteria was it had to have a bare minimum waiting time.
Hmm.
So I called Audi people. They said that they have a car exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. I started my research. They luckily called me, they invited me, they said, anytime you come to Mumbai, please let us know. We will give you a full experience of that. I luckily I planned a day, I went to Mumbai, I coordinated with those people, and it was a time of around 7:30 or 8. We are aware that in Mumbai, that time traffic is so much that there is no way you can take a test drive. So I was driving slowly. We found a lane. He said, do you want to take a feel of the car? I said, absolutely. As it is, there is so much traffic that there is no point, wherever you take me, if this is going to be the condition of the traffic, then I really don't want to take a test drive anymore. He said, fine, just give me a small lane and I'll demonstrate it to you. हम लोग एक छोटी गली के अंदर गए. He said, are you ready? मैं बोला ready का मतलब क्या है? He said, are you ready? I said, I am ready. And उसके बाद से उसने जो accelerate किया, my friend who was sitting behind, he fell down. And I was helping or trying to hold on to something to save my life. It was that good. So those 4 seconds, I felt so much connected with it that I thought I am going to cancel each and every option that I am looking for, and I am going to only go for this car. So that is how we have specifically concluded or jumped to this specific conclusion. Then after that, the next point was color. Then I started again asking them what color is available, in what configuration can I get it, so on and so forth, because the Audi S5 that I have got is a complete CPU unit. None of it is made in India.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Even it is not CKU, that some of the parts will come here and it will get assembled. It is a completely CPU car. That is why they told me that in order to have some specific thing, you will have to wait for at least 6 months. I have tried my level best that I will leave Audi S5 and buy something else, but then this car I fell in so much love with that whatever options I have tried, I have denied everything. I waited for that specific time, for that specific color, and when that moment came where the car was getting unwrapped, I don't think I have ever gotten that much happy till now.
Yeah, I have
So
a
that was one
personal
of the best
experience.
moments.
I have this personal experience because 3 weeks back we went to get perfumes for the office, and I was in your car. So we were at the bridge, and that time you pulled it, I felt the force. I felt myself going
Absolutely,
behind.
absolutely. You can at that time, you can feel the G force. Obviously, it is not allowed. Every road is having a speed limit, but then wherever we have gotten a patch, I've made sure that I have driven the car to the full extent. And I'm telling you, speed is one of the things that every man should be after.
Hmm. And there was a specific story that you told me about a person. You went to meet to a car meet in Mumbai, and you met a person there. You said he has an Audi M5, and he has a very interesting business, the OTP one, if you remember.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. So I remember.
yeah.
So one best thing about Audi is they will be keep on having events,
Hmm.
and luckily they have invited me to all their events. So before purchasing this beautiful car, they invited to me one event wherein we had to go from Mumbai to Karjat. Okay, so finally the day was there. I was sitting in front of a car, and finally, or all of a sudden, one man came in front of me, and we both started this conversation. He was asking me as to what did you like about this car, are you going to go about it, or are you going to go about some different car or something of that sort. Then all of a sudden, while discussing car, we started discussing about what our business is.
Hmm.
And he told me very interesting business that he does a business that is he provides OTP facility to companies.
And he
I
got.
was so blown away by that concept that even such service can be available and there will be somebody who will be availing this service. I was really blown.
And making it like so huge, owning a BMW, and
Absolutely.
you even told me the figures that he was earning, and it was like flabbergasting because we never thought about it that it can be a business.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even I was shocked that you receiving an OTP of some sort can be made into a business, and that man had more than 400 crores of turnover. So you can imagine the players that he is associated with.
Hmm. It's crazy. So since you've had so many years of experience in business, job, and everything, what advice will you give to young minds like me, someone sitting there, and all the people who are in some sort of business or starting up with a business?
Absolutely. There are two things. Okay. First, you have to trust the timing of the universe. No matter how hard you want it, unless and until your time comes, you will not gonna get it. तुम उम्रा जाओ, तुम हज जाओ, मैंने अगर मतलब इफ यू रियली वांट टू गो टू अजमेर का दरगाह ये या मैं वैष्णो माँ चला गया या मैं अमरनाथ चला गया, God is not going to fulfill my dream just because I want it at that point of time. So you'll have to understand that there is a set process, and unless and until you are capable of handling that thing, you can imagine. I'll give you a very simple example. Okay, as a child, you have a power that you can make fireballs and throw wherever you want. You have a superpower that you can actually create a fireballs just by the gesture of your hands, and you can throw it wherever you want. What do you think as a 4-year-old you will be able to better handle it, or as 24-year-old you will be able to better handle it?
As a 24-year-old,
Obviously, as 24-year-old you will be able to better handle it. That is what the God's plan is.
that makes sense.
So it doesn't matter when you want it, when I want it. It's when he wants it, or when he think you deserve it, he will give it to you. You don't have to even ask.
Mhm.
And second thing that I really want to communicate to every single person is have the fire ignited. If your fire is not burning as I, you can imagine there are 1 crore, 20, there are 127 crore people out there in India. Okay, don't you think somebody else is trying more hard than you?
Definitely are.
Definitely. What is the percentage that do you think, what is the percentage of people who are trying more harder than us?
A lot. Like I don't know,
Just give a
60,
number, 20%, 40%, 60%, 70%.
60-70% around that.
60-70%, right? So you can imagine, Mudassir, when 70% people are trying more harder than us, then do you think God will leave them and look at us?
Very less chances.
Very less chances. But when you will get noticed, when you are that person who's working highest, or the fire is igniting to to such an extent that your alone percentage will cross 90%. Hmm? Don't let it happen. So that's what my advice to everybody is going to be, because as long as things are working on, we all feel that we can do whatever in life. But the moment something goes sideways or something doesn't work for you, that is the time when you should actually handle yourself, your relations, and your job very, very easily. If you do that, nothing can break you. And if you do not do that, nothing can make you. These are my two advices for the people, who are really aspiring entrepreneurs.
Okay, so with that, we're at the final question. That is, if you had to start everything from zero, from square one, without contacts, without the funds, nothing, just your experience, what would be the first thing that you do?
First thing I would do is I would make perfumes without anything, because as I can say, I've got a huge love for them.
Yeah.
If not perfumes, then food. These are the only two choices. I will learn, maybe, we have at my specific home, we have very good sabudana vadas.
Hmm.
I'll start selling them on the road. I don't mind it, because जैसे मैंने बोल दिया है कि नहीं, कि अगर तुमको शर्म चाहिए तो बिजनेसमैन मत बनो. You should be ready to do each and everything. जैसे मैंने भी सब किया है, right? When we had the place in Golden City Center, we never had a maid, we never had all those luxuries. I used to have the keys, I used to open the shutter, I used to do jhadu, I used to do pocha, I used to close the shutter. Me along with my team, everybody used to do it, and that is why we are here. So will not be ashamed of doing anything that will help me earning money.
Yeah. There's one more thing that I want to discuss on is your love for perfumes. We've had thousands of discussions over the years that I was there, about you owning the perfume, you suggesting me perfumes to ye khareed lo mudhar se and all of that. And before I left, your last perfume was Black Afghano.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And how your love for perfumes grew? How did it shape up?
A very, very fair and valid question. So I remember telling you all that, as a kid, I had a habit that the moment I used to smell something, I used to tell my mother that what she is cooking. So I had a very strong sense of smell. So eventually, what happened that whenever I used to smell something, I used to pick out the notes very well of them. Like, I can 100% tell you, the first deodorant that I used for myself was Axe Temptation. Axe were the people who made Indian people do all the deodorant thing. Before that, Indians were very few Indians were into Ittar. And specifically, if you go to Lucknow side, okay, they had a Ittar Gully there, and so on and so forth. So when I actually started picking a single note, obviously my interest started growing. And what I did, I started buying. What I used to do, I never used to smell them first and then buy it. I directly used to buy them and then I used to smell it. So mostly people will be, they will be recommending that you should not bind buy perfumes at all. You should smell them, and if you like them, then only you are supposed to invest the money. But my funda is little bit different. I don't prefer that way. I will be blind buying them completely, so that I'll be able to pick up the different notes out of it. So that's how my collection started growing. I had 3 very good perfumes, but then my knowledge and my nose got trained to such an extent that I started thinking, every mood, for every single mood we can have a different perfume. Excuse me. For day we can have a different perfume, for night we can have a different perfume, for afternoon we can have a different perfume, for podcast we can have a different perfume, for marriage we can have a different perfume, for office we can have a different perfume, if you are going to a restaurant we can have different perfume. So you can imagine the amount of perfumes that I have suggested to people and I have applied myself, have given me that boost or lift. so that I can be part of perfume. So as of now, I have got 72 perfumes with me, and I consider myself to be very lucky that I get to use them on a daily basis.
Which out of the all the perfumes that you have, which one is your most favorite one?
मोस्ट फेवरेट बच्चा तुम्हारा कौन सा है? तुम्हारे 10 बच्चों में से तुमने ये सवाल पूछ लिया है, बट फाइन, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. द really one that I like recently is Nasamoto Black Afghano.
Yeah,
That is, I am really vibing with that specific perfume, and Creed Aventus is my second favorite.
Yeah, that was also unboxed in front of me,
Yes.
and I loved it.
Yes.
I was like, we were there. We were discussing about the perfume when you ordered it. So it is a nice perfume,
Absolutely.
very strong. So yeah, we're at the end of it. So I have a little fun thing that I've not done before. It is a rapid round.
Absolutely.
First, Rolex or Omega?
Rolex.
One transcription myth that you wanna bust.
That it's a very underpaying job.
SUV or sedan?
Sedan.
If not transcription, what would your profession be?
Chef.
A quote you live by.
A code I live by, it's good to be rich.
Which watch brand is overrated?
Which Hublot.
There's a lot of hate out there for it. If you could own one car for lifetime, which one would it be?
Audi S5.
Sportback. One thing every entrepreneur should stop doing right now.
Trusting everyone.
Worst job you've ever had.
Worst job I've ever had. I have to think about it. But yeah, maybe I have to go to a desi daru ka dukan and tell the owner about giving information of his hotel. That is the worst thing I've done.
Okay. What do you think about my decision of leaving my job at your company and starting full time with my podcast and my?
A very bad decision. I'm going to buy your company and shut it down.
Okay. Yeah. With that, we came to an end of this podcast finally.
Sure.
It
Thank
was
you
a
so
very-
much. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed the podcast. Your team's efforts and your efforts specifically, Mudassir. Though I'm not happy, but yeah, specifically after this, I am happy, and I am really, really giving you a very best of luck, and let more of such podcasts continue on your channel, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. We'll wrap up.
Yeah.